Okay, everybody, let's go over Chapter 8, the first key issue, this political geography. This is an entire unit on the AP course outline. I believe it's Unit 4. Uh, Remember, we have 196 countries today. The standard for that is basically if you are a member of the United Nations, you are a country. And again, we're the only ones who use the word country. State is the appropriate term, so we prefer to say state of Germany, the state of France. We're called the United States, so to keep it simple for us, we've always called it a country. So they're the same thing. So if you see that on the AP exam, you see the word state, they're talking about a country. They're not talking about North Dakota. Remember, you need four things to be a state. You need to have land. You need to have people. You need to have a functioning government. And the hardest one is the fourth one. That's the hardest one to get. That's sovereignty. Remember, that's freedom from outside control. The example I always use is the United States prior to our independence. We had the first three, but we didn't have sovereignty. We didn't have freedom from outside control. The British still controlled us and told us what to do. So technically, we weren't a country until we won the Revolutionary War and gained that quote-unquote independence. Problems defining states. As membership in the United Nations indicates, it's tricky sometimes. Korea, with the Korean War not technically being completed, they've only signed a ceasefire, is it one state or two? I would argue that it's two because North Korea does have representatives that go to the United Nations. Ironically enough, their name is the Democratic People's Republic of Korea, although they're not all that democratic, obviously. And China and Taiwan. Taiwan is the largest state without membership in the United Nations, because technically they're not a state. China does control them, but they have a lot of autonomy within the Chinese government, but they are technically not a state because they do not have that freedom from outside control. Sizes, we won't spend a lot of time on this. They're pretty basic. Obviously, Russia is the biggest. Canada, USA, China, and Brazil come in after that. Monaco is considered the smallest, a microstate, not even a square mile big, only because Vatican City does not have membership in the United Nations. So Monaco holds the moniker of being the smallest. Nation states, this is important. Self-determination, remember, that's the belief that your ethnicity can control their own affairs and become their own state. Doesn't mean you're always going to get it, but that's what they believe. And nation state is when that ethnicity that is all one group does have their own state. So everybody's basically the same. You're not going to find a place that's 100% perfect, pure, 100% one group. The book often refers to the states in Europe as good examples. I would argue places in Asia are probably more or closer to 100%, like Japan and Korea. But basically, everybody is the same ethnicity to create a nation state. Here's the difference. This is kind of the same slide, but number 3 there, nation, people with the same cultural identity. So these are the people that are not in their own state. And so people like the Flemish, the Basques, the Kurds in the Middle East, a group of people, they're all the same religion, same language, same cultural beliefs. They are considered a nation, but they don't have their own state. And that's when you become a nation state, when you are officially recognized then by the United Nations. So if you see something that just says like a nation, don't automatically assume that they are a country or a state. They are not typically. So see Flemish and Basque as good examples. The Flemish are obviously in Belgium. We talked about them earlier in the year. They have their own language and are being forced to speak French. The Basques are up in the Pyrenees and they speak their own language. Both of these groups would prefer to have their own state, but they currently do not have it. Multinational states, multi-ethnic, that's us. We have many ethnicities living here, but the difference then between a multi-ethnic state and a multinational state is a multinational state had a history of independence. They had a history of their own country. And so the best example of a multinational state is the United Kingdom. Wales, Scotland, England, parts of Ireland obviously had their own history of being their own country. Obviously, they're now united, the United Kingdom. That's why we're not a multinational state here. The people who are living here do not have a history of their own independence. They've moved here from somewhere else, China or Vietnam or India or wherever. But within the borders here, they didn't have a history of independence. And so that's the difference between multi-ethnic and multinational. So we're multi-ethnic, the UK is multinational. The former Soviet Union, they are the largest multinational state. Again, they have groups within their borders that have a history of independence. They have taken over some others that have become part of, or depending on who you ask, part of Russia now, particularly the Ukraine in 2014 when they took over that little chunk called Crimea. And they took it over mostly because the people there spoke Russian, so the Russians just assumed they wanted to be united with Mother Russia. South Ossetia, and I'm going to mispronounce this, Abkhazia, down in the Caucasus regions. Remember, this is a lot of fragmentation down there between languages and ethnicities, mostly because of the mountains. But those are two areas that have potentially been annexed back into Russia. At least Russia would probably like to take them. Georgia obviously doesn't want them to leave. It's obviously very complicated. But the Soviet Union now is the largest multinational state with 39 nationalities. Here's what all those nations or tribes or ethnicities would look like in Africa. You can see the borders of the countries. Good thing the Europeans didn't draw the borders just around each individual ethnicity. Would have made map tests very difficult and challenging, obviously. Okay, I'll stop there.